Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Charlene Maines and I'm the founder of Choices for You. Currently, we're going through the charity commission, so I can't say that we're a registered charity just yet, but hopefully pretty soon we should have some good news to share with you all. Now, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be discussing topics that have affected my life. I'm not an expert in terms of professional expert, I am just an expert of my own life. But I feel that with my own experiences, I can help others by sharing my story. That's not to say that, what I've done and how I've overcome adversity is going to be right for you. But just by listening to someone else going through multiple barriers and actually coming out the other side, hopefully that would be able to help everyone to realise their own potential and to give people a bit of hope, because I do feel right now people need more hope than we've ever needed before. So I'm going to share with you a little bit about my background, and then we're just going to cover a couple of the topics before I go on to today's topic, and yeah, we can go from there. Alright, so my background, I'm 36, I have two children who are teenagers, 12 and 14, well, nearly teenagers, and I'm a single mum, very proud single mum. And I have experience of abuse in my childhood, experienced abuse in my marriage, also mental health with depression and anxiety. I've also gone through long-term unemployment, being a carer for my young son, which I can go into on another session, and also having a disability, a hidden disability. So I've been through it, trust me, and nothing shocks me. And the way that I see things is we make our own luck. And we've all got the potential within us to make the best out of our lives and to grab every opportunity that is available to us. So I'm just here more just to share my story, and like I said, what you do in your life is down to you. What I did in my life has helped me to get to where I am today. So let's now cover a few of the topics that I'm going to be talking about over the next few weeks. So today we're going to be talking about child abuse and how that affects our education. Week 2 we're going to be talking about domestic abuse in a marriage. Week 3 we're going to be exploring long-term unemployment and how that affects our self-confidence and self-esteem. Week 4 I'm going to be talking about disability, sorry, I had a bit of a mind block then, disability and being a young carer and the emotional pressures that can have on our everyday lives, and also how that can impact our chances of success when it comes to work or education, and the barriers that we may face from accessing opportunities to move forward in life. And then I'm going to most probably end the mini-series blog with talk about health conditions around cardiovascular and heart disease and how that can impact someone of all ages, but especially my age of 36, and accepting what I am going through, what I've been diagnosed with, and also how I'm coping with changing my daily routine. So we have got a lot of content to cover, and hopefully in time I can start getting speakers to come in and speak about their own experiences on different topics. So for now it's just going to be me, because I'm a bit of a lone ranger in the charity, and hopefully over time we can slowly grow and we can start listening to other members of the community. So I think that's really important as well, to listen from different perspectives and different experiences, in order to help people in the community who may be feeling a little bit down at the moment with lacking hope and, feeling like they're on their own in isolation. So okay, let's crack on. So this topic today, child abuse and how it affects our education, it's not the happiest of topics. Sorry for the noise in the background. I'm actually in my garden where I feel most happiest being out, and it seems quite noisy at the moment, so I do apologise. But yeah, so child abuse and how it affects our education. Now, did I know as a child I was being abused? No. Did I say to myself at 6 years old, this emotional and physical abuse is not right, and I'm being abused, so I'm going to reach out and ask for help? No. Now, it's really hard, I think, for professionals to be able to identify abuse in families, and get people to talk about it, because one thing that we do have as children is loyalty. So we're like a pet dog, really. We're loyal to those who look after us, regardless of how we're mistreated. So when I was growing up, I knew what was happening to me was not nice, but I didn't realise what it was until I was much older. So I used to wet the bed, and I'm still not sure to this day what has caused it. I think with my condition that I was diagnosed with at 28 could be the result, but I'll go into that later on in our blog mini-series, because if I start at the beginning, then hopefully it will all start to make sense towards the end. So I suffered from emotional and physical abuse during my childhood, and it was really, really hard for me because I used to be in so much pain and I was so unhappy. I needed so many cuddles, reassurance. Looking back now, I can look at my behaviours at school. I was bullied at school. I became the bully. I became argumentative. I couldn't hold proper conversations. I didn't know how to express myself. And home life was really rubbish. I didn't have the nurturing. I didn't have that, loving environment where someone would tell me how good I was at something, or they would ask me how my day was at school, or I was miserable. So I remember an incident where I used to watch Ready Steady Cook. It was a BBC Two programme, food programme, and I was making this meringue, and I was really, really proud of myself. And I said to a parent, look what I've done, and they got really angry and threw it over me, and that stopped me from cooking. And it was just one incident that happened in my childhood that really affected my confidence moving forward. And it was really, really tough for me. I lost hair, I had alopecia. I remember going to the doctors about it. Unbeknown to me, it was stress, but you can hear my dog in the background with his ball. Oh, it's amazing, my dog. But yeah, so I had stress, but I didn't know that. I think they said it was the mousse I was using because I've got curly hair, and I was using a lot of mousse, but no one knew that the alopecia I had a big bald patch here. Reading up now, it's down to stress. And it was really, really difficult for me. So you as you start to get older, you start to question things, and you start to see the control, and you start to see how you was mistreated. Like I said, the bedwetting got worse because I was scared of reactions. I would lie about it. So that's why I'm so truthful now. And people sometimes say, you can get yourself into trouble for telling the truth. And I said, well, I got myself into trouble for lying, so that didn't do me any good. So I'm going to tell the truth whether people like it or not. And yeah, so I spent most of my childhood being called a liar because I used to lie about wetting the bed. I used to be made to feel dirty, and I was singled out at home. Lots of other things happened, but the focus as to why I share my stories is not to go over old ground and to blame anyone. It's just to talk about how that abuse affected me as a person, because it did affect my education as well, being at school. I remember at 15 I was in business studies, and I couldn't concentrate for the life of me. I didn't have any passion, and I failed school. I left school with no GCSEs. And it's not until 20 odd years later, it is 20 years later, that I'm doing a BA honours degree at university, a business degree, because I've got the confidence and I understand now that is my passion. Business is my passion, and leadership. But had I had someone to nurture my capabilities, maybe I would have had that interest at school, but I didn't. So I felt like a failure. And it's taken me 20 years to get that confidence to be able to go back into education now and resit my GCSE English. I've just been accepted onto a level 2 course, level 2 for health and nutrition, which I start today for the next 3 months. I'm doing a degree with the Open University doing business management and leadership. And you know, I'm a late bloomer, but because stuff was happening in my childhood and throughout, it really had serious impact on, you know, my teenage years as well. At 17, I tried to commit suicide. I took a bottle of gin from the kitchen in the family home and some tablets I found in the drawer, and I just wanted to end it. I had no hope. I had taken as much as what I could, and it wasn't nice. It was really a sad time for me. And I'd left school. I went to college and actually failed at college because I'd been introduced to so many new people. I think I spent more time in the common room. So I was at that point doing factory jobs, and I'm sure most of us have had experience of factory jobs, packing lettuces. And I remember waking up the morning after my suicide attempt, and I thought, I can't even do that night. But I was grateful, because I promised myself I would never allow anyone to make me feel that low again, regardless of who they were. And I got on a double-decker bus to go to work, and I felt sick as a pig all day. It was a rotten day, and I didn't tell a soul for many years to come. So, you know, people's behaviour on ourselves in our childhood can have a lasting impact, but it is really down to how we deal with that. So I don't have any bitterness. I don't think there's any winners or losers in this, because by going through what I've gone through, I'm now able to help other people. I'm able just to share my story, and for them to understand that actually, you know, I can get the help and support out there. There are other people out there who have been through what I've been through, and I can really relate to them. So it has taken me nearly 20 years to regain my self-esteem, my self-confidence, and the belief again that I am capable of studying and gaining a degree and getting my education back, because, you know, growing up I didn't have that structure and I didn't have that nurturing. I now nurture myself, and, you know, abuse can have a lasting impact on anybody. The physical and the emotional abuse. The emotional abuse actually lasts until I was 21 years old, and I was 6 months pregnant before I left home and got married. So that's how long my abuse went on for. So it was only 15 years ago. And I remember we had a disagreement with one of my parents, and they grounded me at 21. I was pregnant with my son. So you can imagine the level of control, and that was most probably the last bit of control they had, because I left and I didn't go back. So yeah, that's it really. I want to be able to provide blogs over time as I get more comfortable with speaking out about certain topics, and to be able to interact with people. I want people to interact with me. It is scary sharing your story, especially with people you don't know, because you don't know whether you're going to be judged or believed. But do you know what? It doesn't matter what anyone else says, because as long as you know it happened, as long as you know that the only person that you need to believe in is yourself. No one else has lived what you've lived through. You're the only person. But I do believe that we may not have the choice of how we enter this world, but we certainly have a choice how we end it. And we end it by having a good, successful, positive life. And I'm not saying that, you know, we all end up with brilliant mental health and a mindset, because even with myself, it's a challenge every day to keep motivated. But I know that I have a lot of potential to move forward and be successful and to help other people. Even I have to keep going. Even I have to keep the self-care and the nurturing up, and keep telling myself that, you know what, you are good enough. And that's going to happen until one day I pass away. So until then, you know, I'm going to have to keep working on myself extra hard, because that, you know, that's my life. That's what I've accepted. But by sharing, you know, a little bit of who I am today, I hope others can start to recognise that, you know, we are able to have a positive life. We are able to move forward. It will always be there. No one can erase what happened to us. But we can start to understand why it may have happened, and start to then understand about accepting and forgiving. It doesn't mean to say forgive the people. You know, I forgive because I don't want any negativity in my life. You know, especially awareness. Awareness wasn't there 20, 30, 40 years ago, not like it is today. So I understand that, you know, cycles happen, and we need to be the ones to break the cycles. I think that's our duty, to be the ones for the next generation to break the cycles of speaking out and saying, do you know what we went through was wrong, and this is the support that I asked for and I got, and this is where I am now. And I think if we're more comfortable with speaking out and sharing our stories without being scared about how other people will perceive us, I think we could help a lot more people. And that takes the pressure off other services as well, because, you know, whilst people are waiting to be seen for mental health or for other services, you know, let them engage with people like myself, people like you, who may be able to offer that support just in the meantime while they're waiting to be seen by a professional. You know, it just needs that human to human interaction, the connection. That's all it needs. So that's me. With child abuse and education, how it affects our education. Next Monday I'm going to be talking about domestic abuse in a marriage, and actually what happens once you leave that relationship. I'm really looking forward to discussing a few topics. It is a mini series, so I'm not going to go into full detail with everything, but I thought it'd be quite a nice way of an introduction to myself and some of the things that I've been through and why I started Choices for You. I am going to go now because I keep coughing, so I just wanted to let you all know. I hope you all have a nice week ahead, and to keep talking. And I really do hope I've helped, even if it's one person. I hope that I've helped someone to realise that it's okay to speak out. Okay, you take care for now, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.